gonna get to pull the switch? Why me, indubitably, as I possess all of the talent around here.
Hey, it's Chuck Jones. Look at that. Do you know who that is?
What's up, Frog?
Oh, no! Ew!
Everybody likes the WB. Remember this? Oh, the WB, which I think dissolved, I believe, after 2004, right? Lasted about 10 years, and then it became the CW. So right around 2000, maybe it was 2006, 2007. Somewhere before the end of the 2000s, probably. Yeah, that's probably right. And you had Michigan J. Frog. You had, remember Nikki Cox from Unhappily Ever After? You had that stupid dust, was that Big Bunny? Bobcat Goldthwait. You had the Wayans brothers. You had Muscle. Somebody had to remember Muscle, because that show got canceled really quick. You had the Steve Harvey Show. A lot of black comedies. The 90s, people will say, woke people will say there were no black comedies. No, no, no. There were black comedies in the 90s. A whole lot of them, and you better look them up, because like Homeboys, how about, does any woke person remember Homeboys in Outer Space? James Doohan was on that one, Scotty. Who remembers Homeboys in Outer Space? I think that was a UPN show. So this is the first year of cartoons, and it would run for about less than 20 years, up until the CW Vortex. So that's a whole other chapter, into a saga of cartoons, right? But we're just going to be looking at the first year of Kids WB. This was the last year. I was a minor. I turned 18 in the late spring of 1996. So we're going to look at, this is when they had all the stars, the Jamie Foxx show, Jamie Foxx, Ellen Cleghorn, Nikki Cox. Everybody promoted all the cartoons. So we have Sylvester and Tweety. We've got some old-fashioned cartoons. We got new-fashioned Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. We'll look at all of this stuff. So let's begin, if we can.
Kiddies, let's see what your drawings say about you. Dot.
I drew a picture of the Eiffel Tower in Italy.
But there is no Eiffel Tower in Italy.
Exactly.
That's the good old Super Nintendo. So, oh God, please cooperate. So Animaniacs was a show I really kind of got into it. There were a lot of political jokes. Bill Clinton, the executive producers at Warner Brothers, so many different things. And let me see if I can lower this a little bit. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. This is a Super Nintendo game. There's a Game Boy Color game or Game Boy game. And we'll get into Pinky and the Brain a little bit. But Animaniacs was they just had so many different characters. And you had, Buttons and Mindy. So there's Pinky and the Brain there. So yeah, I guess we could talk about Pinky and the Brain. I remember, there was an animation project, and they would talk about, it was not animation, it was broad TV and film class I took in college. So all the girls would dance to Barbie music, and all the boys would dance to Pinky and the Brain music. But, yeah, so you had Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. You had Pinky and the Brain. You had those pigeons, the Goodfellas, the Godfellas. You had Slappy the Squirrel and her nephew. You had Buttons and Mindy. And you had all kinds of characters. I think they had McDonald's toys. I don't even know if I still have. I think I have Buttons and Mindy, and I have Pinky and the Brain somewhere. I need you to find every scene from our new movie script that was stolen. Oh, so they have to go up against Pinky and the Brain. I actually never seen this game before. I've seen it in pictures on Nintendo Power Magazine, but I have never seen it in motion. That's the thing about a game will look different from a magazine. But yeah, so I like the variety. Now this was the second cartoon after the. I would guess you would say that Tiny Toons was a spin-off of Looney Tunes, right? Because Looney Tunes was like 50 years of like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck shorts and Wile E. Coyote. And then once Tiny Toons kind of served their purpose. Oh, Jesus but fucking Christ. Hold the. There's the nurse. Of course, the boys are distracted. Dot doesn't care, because why would she care? So, they were always, I mean, what are they? Cats, dogs, birds, fish? They kind of remind, of early Mickey and Minnie Mouse concept art. Or Bosco and Honey. You could see Slappy the Squirrel at the bottom. You could see Peaky and the Brain. It was a fun little cartoon. It would be on afternoons. There's the doctor. So they're supposed to stay in the water tower all the time, but the doctor always tries to put them back. It's like they're animals. I mean, they're living beings, right? Why would they want to live in a water tower? There's no air in there, right? I guess there's water, but there's no food. Yeah, this is bizarre shit. There's the what is it? The Animaniacs crossing guard. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to commercials, actually. But I had a lot of fun watching this. I don't recognize all. I know there's Hello Nurse. Yeah, all these guys. Anyway, it was fun. I think they did a reunion show, didn't they? On what is it? HBO Max. You would watch the end of like a morning news coverage.
Were you in that movie Psycho?
Oh, great, George Hamilton.
George and Alana?
One time, and underneath it was yet an
I forgot George Hamilton had his own show, like his talk show.
George, Alana.
You keep tanning, you're gonna look like this in about 5 years. Best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah, these shows didn't last too long. Didn't last too long. Mike, who's this? What is this? Mike Bella, I don't know what that is. Mike Bellator. This is what ended up replacing cartoons, sports. All the sports replaced the Saturday morning cartoons. This is Salem, Massachusetts, Oregon, and Vancouver.
You're watching the world
Yep, this is when all your favorite stars would promote the Saturday morning
It's time for
anime. That's right, they used to be on Fox because Tiny Toons was on Fox.
reporting for work, sir.
Because Warner Brothers had licensed out like Batman, the animated series, and Tiny Toons and Animaniacs to Fox. But now they have their own cartoon, their own network, so they moved everything over, including Batman. Well, mostly the new stuff. Oh my god.
home, you Animaniacs, you.
Oh, those are the
We'll be right
sister. Isn't that funny that Jack A. She's on soap operas now?
Come on, everyone's going to the Polly Pocket Start-Right Dinner Party. Polly's been planning this party all day. The table's set, company's on the way. Polly Pocket, what are you wearing, Polly? Ta-da! Light! Cozy fireplace and pretty candlelight. Miss Polly's dinner, a very special night. Starlight, star bright. More fun for you. Polly has more to do. Polly Pocket. Polly Pocket
Oh, they're supposed to make a Polly Pocket movie, right? I think they are.
Andy Snacks presents Stick Figure.
It's great, Daddy. Stick figure. My room's got a
I do not know. I do not remember this commercial.
and I gotta start my day off with a little dip.
But people used to eat these a lot.
Pretty scary, huh? Oh, I'm shaking in my cheese. And he's safe. Give me all your cheese. This is a stick-up. I love saying that. Yeah,
Oh,
it's great being me.
fuck this.
One small problem.
I hate these commercials.
Fine. Enough with this. It's time for snacking. Handy snacks. Fantastic. What happens when greedy
Oh, yeah. This is before Lego Star Wars. This is when all they did was like use Lego in space, Lego pirates, Lego castles. But they didn't do Star Wars or Spider-Man, none of that stuff.
Lego pirates are coming for you! Exciting sets to collect from
Lego Mania.
Tonight's plan to take over the world promises to be extraordinary. Pinky?
Bang! Zoom! Right in the
Bang! Zoom! Right in the kisser! No!
What's he learning? What's that teaching him?
You watch too much TV, Pinky.
Bang! Zoom!
Stop saying that, Pinky, or I shall have to hurt you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Brain. Nerve. Jake, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Da, 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 da. Yeah. So this was probably my favorite cartoon. I don't remember the first episode that aired, but I remember the one where Brain fell in love with, he was in love with somebody. It's like a Romeo and Juliet thing. And he was trying to get Pinky to write out a love letter. I don't know why, because, you know, Pinky doesn't know much of anything, right? Right? No. I remember Rob Paulsen got an award, a Daytime Emmy Award for that. And he still had his brown hair, and he was really grateful for that. He did his voice there. It was really great. There's some voice actors that want to be paid to do their voices, and that's fine. But some people like Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulsen, they were happy to do the voices anytime, you know? Because they get paid anyway. They're going to get paid at some point. And I really thoroughly enjoyed, like, they were so popular. They had their own show. There used to be one segment out of so many, between the Pigeons and Slappy the Squirrel and Buttons and Mindy. And so I think there was another show, Hysteria. That was another one. Hysteria and then Freakazoid, which we'll get into. But Hysteria was another one. And then Freakazoid was another one. I think Freakazoid was the last of those kind of weird political stuff. But after Tiny Toons, and that's the irony there. So after Tiny Toons and Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain would be the ones to get their own cartoon. And that's great, because they really do have their own potential to be their own cartoon, right? So they actually, I think they had their own primetime slot for a little while. I don't know how long that lasted, though, but I think they had their own primetime slot. I think, right? Friday nights or Thursday nights or whatever. And yeah, it was just fun. It was Maurice LaMarche. And every time I hear the new Toucan Sam, part of this complete Dunsburg, you know, I just want to hear him do the voice again. Because Maurice LaMarche was the original Toucan Sam. Of course, somebody will tell me, no, there was a 70s actor. But, I mean, I used to hear his voice for Toucan Sam all the time. He was Egon Spengler. He was different characters. And Rob Paulsen, you know, with Raphael, the Ninja Turtle. So, I mean, you're getting top talent. I remember now, there was an episode where they were they did take over the world. But the way they did it was they had created a Chia world. And they just ended up destroying I didn't even look this up right now. I haven't looked this up. I'm going to look it up on YouTube later. But they ended up destroying the original Earth. So everybody moved over to Chia Earth. So now their plan was to try to take over Chia World. So I don't know if that was the last episode before the Elmira takeover. Maybe that was Elmira. Because the last time we saw Pinky and the Brain was Elmira. Elmira. And that was Elmira, Pinky and the Brain. Because they went from Acme Labs to her house. I don't know. That was sort of a weird, it's like Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie. Clearly, the writers did not learn from this. Because Poochie was the third character out. Like, you don't put Poochie in Pinky and the Brain. You don't put Poochie with Itchy and Scratchy. You don't put Elmira as Pinky and the Brain. It doesn't work. That's what happens when you try to do that. Then the whole thing gets canceled. And then we don't see them for decades. I think they did come back, right? Did they come back? They had to have come back. If Animaniacs reunited, so did Pinky and the Brain. They had to have. Let's look for some more commercials.
Two mice asking only for world domination and cheese.
We finally made the big time.
They're Pinky and the Brain.
We're practically the size of mice, Brain.
We are mice.
Today on Kids WB, it's Pinky and
Yep.
the Brain. You're watching Kids WB.
They still had afternoon cartoons.
Thank you, Curtis. And now back to our program.
Oh my god.
We'll return to Animaniacs after these messages.
I think she's still married to Jay Moore, right? She's been like missing in action for a long time. Here's more Legos, in case you forgot about them.
A drawbridge, hidden compartments, secret stairways, clanking gates, ghoulish ghosts, swords, shields, spears, catapults, trapdoors, bone-chilling skeletons! It was a typical castle from Lego System.
There you go. You can act out your Skyrim adventures there.
From Lego System, each sold separately.
Here come those dizzy grizzly bears. They're starting to get busy. They like to
I don't remember these, but I kind of remember this commercial. Disney Grizzlies. What is that?
Graham Bell's on reverse. It's like you get two snacks in one, so join us in this verse. Flip them over back to front, it's gonna make them dizzy. Did you ever think you'd have such fun playing with a grizzly? From Teddy Graham.
I have flower magic. Watch my flowers grow.
Oh yeah, this one.
Her flower magic.
One can solve that all it seems. That's when they come then on the double. Sylvester and Tweety mysteries. It might be day or night whenever conditions are right for them to flee. Somehow it all still fits together. Sylvester and Tweety mystery.
I collect all ponytails.
Oh yeah, so they're based on the classic cartoons. I remember all the classic cartoons. And they would show them on Kids WB in the afternoons or sometimes on New Saturday mornings. I think probably in the late 90s they would show them. But this is KG Capers here. So, oh yeah, I don't think we ever saw the sun. The sun was never there. But you know who was in every episode? Some sort of 60s tiger? I forgot. He looked like the Tony the Tiger, but he was like this cool tiger character that didn't have a very long lifespan. And he would show up in every episode of Sylvester and Tweety. You have to look, like Where's Waldo? You had to look for him. But it was like Murder, She Wrote. You know, instead of Angela Lansbury, you had Granny, right? So they would solve mysteries. Nobody died, but because it was a kids cartoon, right? But you had Sylvester, Tweety, and then Spike, I guess. I forgot the dog's name. We're just gonna go with Spike because you had to have a bulldog to keep the cat in line, so the cat cannot get the bird. So it's the dog versus cat versus bird, and Granny versus everyone, right? Because Granny overrides everyone. So it was just like that for like a couple of years. I think it lasted maybe about 2 or 3 seasons. But it was fun. I mean, they made all kinds of new... They made this one, and then Duck Dodgers, and then they had Tasmania, I remember that. There wasn't a lot of life left in these, but just like whatever was on Saturday morning cartoons. So I do remember, and then, what is it, Lunatics Unleashed? And that's about it. I guess whatever's on now is whatever's there. Warner Brothers has been like, I don't think they have any new, what is it, that one I reviewed? Jellystone. That was it. Jellystone was that new one where they had anime versions of Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound. Like every once in a while you see something that's like, oh shit, there's a new Bugs Bunny cartoon? Since when? Amidst all the 2020 stuff, right? So this was like in the 90s, they treated the characters with more respect. They look like the characters, right? No weird redesigns or anything like that. Sylvester looked like Sylvester, Tweety looked like Tweety. And I think this June Foray did the voice of Granny. She did the voice of Granny up until the very end. She lived to be almost 100 years old. All right, we got 2 more cartoons to look at, but let's go through the commercials.
Back on TV with his
Oh,
very own
shit.
show. Yeah, follow him to his
I like the girl, but they're all religious nuts.
Thanks, I'm interesting. Oh,
What is it? What is it? Who was compared to Hitler?
Simon gets a new
I forgot. Oh, this show didn't last too long. Oh, what is it?
new show on the WB. Maybe he's on to something.
Science was compared to Hitler.
Series premiere of
I forgot.
right
Charles Darwin.
now
From
on Sunday.
from Darwin to Hitler. That's what he was doing. Yeah, Freakazoid.
Like it in LA Light, help the Power Rangers come to your school.
school.
No.
Here's how. Enter the LA Lights More
Uh,
School Sweepstakes, and you
Good
can
old Tommy.
the Power Rangers.
Tommy the Green Ranger. No, I hated those. Hated those villains from Power Rangers.
LA Lights. Get a value book worth $100 off cool Power Rangers stuff. Awesome! But best of all, you'll be the coolest kid in school.
No.
The Power Rangers.
No, you won't. No, you're not. You're not going to be the coolest kid. Oh, shit. All right,
Here's
let's...
your chance to make your child a
Hold
star
on.
on WB13.
To the city, he will run there in a jiffy to sock evil in the eye. Marty Phoebe was a poor hunter, hungry without goal. Dealt from being eaten by a crow. The elf rewarded Marty Phoebe with a magic sack of corn. Speed and shiny teeth.
Lady in the dress.
Super Team Extraordinary.
You know, I have the first season DVDs, and I don't know where I placed them. I've lost my Freakazoid DVDs. I want to go back and watch them again. And let me tell you, this was done by Bruce Timm. That's why he kind of looks like the Joker, because he has that 1997 Joker look. This came before the new Batman cartoons, the continuation of the 92 series. And I don't remember very much. I remember he existed. But it wasn't until I won this stupid contest on it wasn't even Reddit. It was some sort of forum. And I won these like comic books, these trades. And one of the things I got was the Freakazoid DVD season 1. And that was cool. And I really I said, okay. He didn't talk to me much after that. I don't know. I think he was kind of flaky like that. There's some stupid people in this world. I don't know what to tell you. But I did get to watch it. It was a very dark and weird show. Now, one of the things they talked about in the commentary was that Freakazoid had a dual identity. He was like this fat, nerdy guy. He was like the fat nerd kid that would live in the mom's basement kind of guy. But he was Freakazoid. He was like the Mask. Okay. At the same time, you had the animated Mask series. So we covered that last week, and he was just two different people. And one of the things they don't do anymore in cartoons was that they don't make the guy an incel by having everybody reject him. Like everybody would reject him and say, well, I'm sorry, I can't go with you on the prom date, or I can't go with you to the dance or whatever. Everybody would reject him. But that's something they used to do in cartoons, where they would reject him. But that's sort of the reality of the world. People reject you all the time. But because he was rejected, he would end up being Freakazoid. So it was a fun cartoon. There were a lot of jokes. The fat jumbo nerd who would stalk Mark Hamill. Jack, somebody, president of Warner Brothers, would talk about movie ratings. And they would have, basically everybody at Warner Brothers would poke fun at each other about cutting salaries, and would be a shame if we got rid of the cartoons or get rid of the dramas, or, nothing, sort of like not below the belt, but not too above the belt jokes, but like somewhere in the middle, somewhere just above the groin area, they would do these jokes. And on Saturday morning cartoons as well. It's like, it lasted 2 seasons. I haven't watched the second season, but the first season, I know I have it somewhere. I just don't know where the fuck it went. I really don't. I don't know what planet it went to, because I cannot find it. It's really sad. I don't know where I put these. Where do I put these things? I don't know. But as soon as I find it, because I also bought Batman Ninja Turtles crossover. I never watched that. I'm going to watch that tonight, but I will watch these again. But take a look at them. If they're available online to watch, you could buy the 2 seasons, or if you want to find some other way, you can. But really worth the time. Bruce Timm did all this. Bruce Timm did Masters of the Universe comic books, and then he did this one. I think he did Jingle Bell art, but I think Paul Dini did the writing for that. So yeah, it looks like the Joker. Anyway, let's go do commercials and then final cartoon. So let's see this
Here's your chance to make your child a
gaslighting
star
shit.
on WB32. It's the WB Looney Tape Contest. Number 1, videotape your 2 to 5-year-old impersonating their favorite Warner Brothers character. Number 2, put your child's name and phone number on the tape. Number 3, send the tape to Looney Tapes at the address on the screen. The winning entry will star in a WB32 commercial and also receive weekend lodging at the Oregon coast. And 32 runner-up winners will receive
It's a short,
awesome
brief
toys.
moment of
Time is
fame.
running out, so send your tapes now and stay tuned
If nothing
for
else.
Looney Tape winner updates.
WB. Michigan J Frog. This is a long pause here. How long does this go on? They're experiencing technical difficulties. Stand by. Yeah, I met this guy already. Unfortunately.
Good to have you home, you animaniacs, you. We'll be right back.
That's Meteor Man. You remember him.
It's WB presents, you see a person you might want to be those crazy careers.
I remember the Crazy Careers.
At 5 o'clock you wake up, get dressed and put on makeup. The crew is out there ready to fly. She's cute and photographic. Her job is watching traffic from the heavens.
Oh yeah, Jennifer York.
Jennifer York is in Sky Campfire.
What is Jennifer York doing?
Highest flying careers. Think it's crazy? Come and see. We're calling passenger everyone south out at
Yeah, fucking Carlos Amezcua, Jennifer York. All right, let's go to the last cartoon.
Interpretive dance.
Sidekick again!
Psychro's Behavioral Control Center. Quick, your tape player.
You're not gonna get custard on it again, are you?
I'll solve this problem with my 4 hyper-intelligent brains.
Good old Earthworm Jim. Now, I remember very little of the series. I kept thinking there were action figures, and there was an Earthworm Jim that was in a green spacesuit. I don't know how much that's worth today. But there was Earthworm Jim, there was the dog sidekick, and Princess What's-Her-Name. Some lizard creature in a space helmet. Oh my god. This is the Sega CD version of Earthworm Jim. Wasn't Tommy Tallarico trying to get this on the Amico? And he didn't even get the authorization. But the theme song was like Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim. Yeah, it's the dumbest stuff ever. But yeah, there was a time when you had adaptations of everything: Bubsy, Earthworm Jim, Zelda, Mario, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, Donkey Kong Jr., Mega Man. What is it? Captain N. Oh my god. Let's see a little bit. Let's see. Press start. Press start. New Junk City. How does it look on the Sega CD? Probably about the same. Oh yeah, you got some like faster action here. It's faster. Yeah, I never played this game, but I would always see it at Tower Records or Toys R Us. But this cartoon lasted about maybe a season or two. Didn't last too long. Got replaced easily, but it was on Sunday. It was on Sunday afternoons or Sunday mornings too, on top of the Saturday mornings. So this cartoon got moved along with Freakazoid. So yeah, is the cow gonna get launched here? I was gonna wait till the dog bites him in the balls. Yeah, a lot of games came out for Sega CD, but I never had a Sega CD. That Sega CD was the first CD system. Line Ride. All right, let's wrap this up if we can. I hope you had as much fun watching this as I did putting it together. I hope I don't get copyright claimed because I had to go around a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff was on official channels, and I had to go around. I had to make very short clips. It was a lot. And yeah, I think at this, we didn't have HD TV yet, but we were getting close to that time, I think in 98. So I bid you farewell until the next week. I think we'll be covering some 96 cartoons, and then eventually we're going to cover 1997 and CBS's final cartoon run. And then we'll get into the Pokemons and the anime section of the era of Saturday morning stuff. Until then, if you know what to do, if you can go back and see all my past cartoons from 78 onward. I'll build that playlist.